Evening. And hey, Facebook, good evening. I hope that you all are doing well this evening. This is Tonetta Clay, your professional development coach, bringing you this week's weekly success call. So, like I said last time, y'all gonna see me looking back and forth in different directions because I have two things going, recording at the same time so that everybody can get the same information when I do go live. So, again, I want to say thank y'all for, of course, being here. Of course, I hope that you all have had a great day. This video tonight is actually taking place at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. My usual time is at 11 in the morning, but of course I want to start doing them at 8 in the evening to, of course, get more people on and get the word out to more people. So I want to make sure that you all knew that as well. So moving forward, on Sundays, you will see the weekly success call at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Just keep that in mind, y'all, and put that on your calendars. So with that, the topic for this evening is talking about clarity. I know a lot of times we hear clarity like, oh my God, what's going on now? What's happening now? That kind of thing. But at some point, of course, if we want success in our lives, we have to get clear on what it is, where it is that we're at, and what it is that we want. I guess I put it that way. So like I said, tonight, this call is talking about clarity. And I'm talking about, of course, getting clear on where you currently are in the 7 main areas of life. The main areas of life that I talked to y'all about last week, the last week's call was career and business, number 2, finances, number 3, education, number 4, relationships, number 5, health and fitness, number 6, personal growth, and number 7, spiritual growth. Like I said, at some point we have to get clear on where we are at in order to know where we're going, y'all. Like I said, there's no sense of you trying to just willy-nilly just going through life. All these things are going on. You have no idea where you're at, what's going on, what you need, any of those kind of things. At some point, we have to get clear. That's where the clarity comes in. Like I said, the clarity is getting clear on what it is that you want. And in this video, like I said, we're definitely talking about getting clear on where you currently are. So next week, we can talk about the goals and where you're trying to go and what it is that you want out of life. I guess I put it that way. So with that, let me go ahead and get started. The first thing, of course, I always tell everybody, of course, the truth shall set you free. Of course, I talk about speaking your truth all the time, and speaking your truth and knowing your truth are one and the same. We have to know, of course, where we are, and of course be truthful with ourselves where we are in life, not lying to ourselves that we're way farther ahead than what we truly are. I guess I put it that way. For example, in your finances, oh, I'm doing fine in my finances, this is going well in my finances, but every time you get your bank statements, your bank statements are saying something totally different, that you're negative every month, that you're not making enough money or making enough income or spending your money wisely in order to, of course, have any money in your account every month. Like I said, at some point, we have to realize that we have to be true to ourselves to figure out where we're currently at. Like I said, there's no sense in lying to yourself. I don't want you to lie to yourself at all, but I want you to be truthful in all these 7 areas of life so that you can know how to best move forward. Like I said, that's the first thing. And I definitely want to make sure that you all understand that. Because if you're not being truthful with yourself where you currently are in life, then you're not going to be able to create the success that you want. Let me get some water, y'all. And I definitely want y'all to understand that moving forward. Like I said, you definitely have to be truthful with yourself. There's no sense of skirting around things or beating around the bush or anything else. You have to be truthful with yourself where you are so that you can know how to best move forward, y'all. And what I was always told and what I read in these books, I guess lately I put it that way, that if it's something that you don't like in your life, then change it. I know a lot of times that we have all this stuff going on in our life and that kind of thing. We don't like where we are. We don't like the job that we have. We don't like the way our finances look. We don't like the way our relationships are going with our kids or with our partners. We don't like the way our health looks. We don't like that we don't have a spiritual connection with the God above. We don't like that we are not doing any kind of personal growth as far as learning how to love ourselves or having personal boundaries. We don't like where we currently are. And like I said, at some point, you have to get wise and understand that if you don't like where you're at, then you have to change those things. Those things are not going to just happen, and you're not going to have success in any of those 7 areas of life if you're not looking to, of course, make some changes. All it takes is one decision. That's all it takes, y'all, is one decision to, of course, make that a decision to want to make that change. That's all it takes, y'all. It don't take anything else. The first step is always making a decision towards what it is that you want. And like I said, if you don't like where you're at in this current situation, whatever it is, your finances, your relationships or your health or anything along those lines, you have to make a decision as to whether you're going to change that or not. And I want to thank you all for joining in. Thank you. Is it Denora, Simon Perez, Sweetie 5253, and Jamie Lynn Speaks? Thank you all for tuning in on Instagram. I cannot see y'all on Facebook until I get off of here, just to let you all know. So I'll talk to y'all in a few, I guess I put it that way, on Facebook. But like I said, I'm sure some of you all are listening in. I'm sure some of y'all are checking the video out. So thank you, because I see hearts and that kind of thing on the video, so I know that you're there. But like I said, definitely thank you. And any questions that you may have, or any like I said, questions that you may have, anything that you want to say, make sure that you all are putting that in the comments down below. Just keep that in mind, y'all. And let me actually go to the comments. I didn't even go to the comments. Oh, and I see somebody on Facebook. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, sis, for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. And tonight's message is talking about clarity, just to let you know, having clarity in the 7 areas of your life that's going to help you create that success that you're looking for. And I already talked about being truthful with yourself, where you currently are, because if you don't know where you are, you cannot know where you're going and where you're headed. And the one I was talking about right now was just letting you know that if you all don't like where you're at, to make sure that you think about changing those areas and changing the things that you're doing in those areas. For example, again, like I said, if you have finances, every time that you get your bank statement is negative, and you're not even making all your bills, paying all your bills and that kind of thing. At some point, you have to get clear on where it is that you are. If you're always in the negative, you have to get clear on that so you know how to move forward. If you're looking to move forward to have at least $100 in your bank account every time the month ends, then of course make that a goal of yours. Put that as your vision. But until you figure out where you currently are, you cannot be able to move forward with the success that you want, y'all. And like I said, at some point you have to get quiet. You have to sit down, sit with yourself. I guess I put it that way. Whether you're in prayer mode, meditation mode, or just sitting quietly, just trying to figure out what is going on in your life. I know I've done that many times. I'm sure everybody that's listening in has done that as well. And then, of course, what I would also suggest is that you, of course, get some type of journal, whether it's a notebook or an actual journal that you can, of course, write in every day, or at least a few times a week, to figure out where you currently are. Like I said, all these 7 areas, with the education, with the physical fitness and health, with the career and business, with the finances, with the relationships, with your spiritual growth and your personal growth. You have to write down and figure out in all those areas where you all are. Like I said, if not, you're not going to know how to move forward at all. You will take that back. You can move forward, but it's probably going to be the wrong things you're moving forward in. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, you can definitely move forward without doing any of these things, but you will not have the results that you all want. But like I said, you have to get clear on those things. You have to get clear on where it is that you are. Like I said, sitting quiet with yourself. I know a lot of folks don't want to sit quiet with themselves because they don't want to tell themselves the truth about certain things. But if you want to have success in your life, you're going to have to start telling yourself the truth and sit quiet with yourself. If you want to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or an hour, whatever it is you want to take, take that time, put that time aside to sit quiet with yourself and to reflect on your life. At some point, we all have to do that, because I know everybody's not happy, including myself, with everything going on in their life. If you're not happy, you have to make changes to, of course, find that happiness. And like I said, the sitting quiet and starting to journal and things like that, you will find where you are, what's going wrong, what you don't like, all those types of things. You will definitely find those things. But first, you have to, like I said, get clear and make that decision that you're wanting to change your life to be different, to transform and that kind of thing. Like I said, you won't have that success until you do. And I know last week I also talked about that I want to bring back up Like I said, choose an area that you want to start with. You don't want to work on all 7 areas all at one time, but just choose an area that you want to focus on first. Like I said in that example, if it's your finances, if your finances are all over the place and you never have any money and you don't have any money in your savings, all those kind of things, start with the finances first if that's the most important thing to you. And I would suggest if that is the most important thing to you, like I said, to get quiet with yourself, to start journaling, to figure out what's going on with your finances. The first thing, for example, I would say create a budget. If you don't already have a budget, I guess as far as like your actual income that's coming in, make sure that you start setting that budget, figuring out how much you have coming in, what kind of bills you have, how much they are, whether you have to cut anything out or start minimizing things. And then of course, go ahead and set your budget with those things in mind. Like I said, if that's the place that you can start simple and start with that. Like I said, that's where a lot of folks start. That's where I started. You have to know what's coming in. You have to know what's going out, and you have to have a budget for the things that you have to pay, your bills and your health insurance and whatever it is else that you have to pay, y'all. Oh, like I said, just make sure that, like I said, you start with those simple things. Like I said, you don't have to go all over the place and get to your credit scores and all these kind of things in the beginning. Just start simple. If all you're trying to do is make sure that you have at least $50 or $100 left every month after you get paid or after you calculate all your bills or whatever it is, then start there with your budget. That is very simple to create. If you don't know how to create the budget on your own, like I said, the easiest things that you can do is just to calculate the money that you have coming in for the month. And of course, write down all the bills that you have, all the things, all the expenses that you have, all the things that you have to pay, all that kind of stuff, and figure out what areas you also have to cut down or minimize or get rid of, one of the two. And like I said, then you'll start having some extra money possibly at the end of the month. And like I said, that's something that you definitely have to work on. Then, of course, go ahead and start working on those things. But like I said, just pick one area to start working on. Don't pick all 7 at one time. Just pick one area. You can focus on the area for at least a week or 2 at the most if you want to, and then start putting the things that you're seeing that's the issue and that's the problem into action. That's how you start making changes. Little by little, I think they said, what is it? Little by little, inches a cinch or something along those lines. I think it was Dr. Seuss who said it, but or whoever wrote the books or whatever. But like I said, just start little by little and start making those changes. You don't have to go really big and work on every single thing in your finances, doing all this, doing the credit score, then trying to create other streams of income. You don't have to do all that in the beginning. Just start simple with the budget. Like I said, just pick one area to focus on. And another thing I want to talk about again, just to make sure that you all realize that picking the one area to focus on is fine and dandy. But if you're not being consistent in that area to, of course, follow with the action, keep on doing the tasks that you found. Keep on solving the problems that you found, then you're not going to have that success in the area. Another thing, as far as self-discipline, it goes right along with that consistency. You have to be consistent and disciplined in order to get these goals accomplished. If your vision is to have that $100 at the end of the month in your bank accounts, so that you can start saving and investing however that you like, you have to stay consistent with the goals that you set up. And then, of course, be disciplined to, of course, carry out those goals. Not just writing down the things and, I'm going to do this and posting on social media that I'm going to do this and I'm going to have the best month possible. I'm going to have all this money left over. But you're not being consistent or disciplined in doing any of the actions, then you're not going to have that success. And you're going to be right back to square one, right where you was today. I guess I put it that way. So like I said, you have to be consistent and disciplined when we're talking about making changes, transforming our lives, and all those kind of things. You have to be consistent and disciplined, y'all. And when you, of course, are creating those successes, those small successes, the first thing, you get your budget set up. You figure out how much money you got coming in. Then, of course, you're figuring out what things you need to cut out or minimize. And then you, of course, go ahead and start taking action on those things. Start, of course, celebrating those successes. Celebrate the success that you, of course, figured out how much you bring in a month. Celebrate the success that you know how much, that you actually set up your actual budget plan and that you have everything written down, all your expenses and all those things. Make sure that you're celebrating those successes so that you can keep going on this journey. We don't want to, I don't want to have you, I'm sure you don't want to have yourself start the things, start doing all these things. Then next month, you're like, oh, I'm getting tired of this and all this kind of stuff. This is getting on my nerve. I don't see any progress. It's not happening fast enough. Whatever it is, you want to celebrate the successes so that you know that you have accomplished accomplish those goals, y'all. Don't just keep on going and not celebrating yourself for the good work that you're putting in. You have to celebrate yourself and celebrate the successes that you're having. So I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else. I think that's it when it comes to clarity. Like I said, the main thing with those 7 areas is making sure that you, of course, are getting clear on what it is that you want in those areas, y'all. And like I said, the first thing you have to do is figure out where you currently are in life in those 7 areas in order for you to move forward and get the success that you all want. So like I said, definitely keep that in mind. Like I said, if there's something that's going on in your life or one of these areas that's going wrong in your life and you don't like it, you always have a choice to change it. You have to make that decision first and foremost if you want to change those things. If not, there's no transformation, there's no change that's going to take place. And like I said, definitely you have to realize that. You have to make sure that you decide something. Don't just let things just keep on going and things are piling up and things are piling up. And then you get into a place where you're so depressed and you're so angry you want to commit suicide or anything along those lines. I don't want you to get into those places either. I've been there. I know what that feels like. I don't want you to get into those places. So before things pile up, make sure that you start working on these things right now and tell yourself the truth about where you are in life so that you can start moving forward and so that you can start having those successes that you want to see. I know you see everybody else around you having success, possibly having success and that kind of thing, or showing that they're having success. I want you to have that same success as well, but you have to want it for yourself first and foremost. You have to believe that you can create those successes and believe that you can, of course, accomplish these things, no matter how small, no matter how big. You have to believe that. Have the faith, trust, and belief in yourself that you can accomplish these things. And like I said, getting clear on where it is that you are in life so that you can know where you're going is always the first step, y'all. Then it's making that decision on whatever kind of decision that you want to make in whatever area that you want to improve. That's the next step. Like I said, we definitely have to get those things in order. Like I said, I want to see these successes, y'all, for all those who are tuning in. Let me see. Jamie Lynn, Speak Sweetie, 5253. Is it Dinora Simon Perez? I want to make sure I'm pronouncing that right. Like I said, I want to see all of you all creating these successes in your life as well. And then on Facebook, Lynn, I want to see you making those successes as well and having all the transformation as well. So like I said, with that, I want to say thank you all for tuning in. Facebook and Instagram, I want to, like I said, thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all in the next week. Weekly success call, which they're going to be on Sundays at 8 p.m. now, Central Standard Time, just to let y'all know and to remind y'all again. And before I get off here, I want to let y'all know what in the world is going on. I guess I put it that way. The things that I guess some of the things, well, one of the main things that is actually coming up, I guess I put it that way. I'm very excited. Of course, I'm creating something called TC University, and of course that stands for my name, Tonetta Clay, Tonetta Clay University. Back when I was little, growing up, I've always said that I wanted to, of course, create something that, of course, taught people how to live their best life. I guess I put it that way. I know we all go through school, high school, grade school, all those kind of things. We have our parents telling us, or educating us on different things. We have our religion or whatever kind of God you believe in, educating you in some kind of way. You have the environment that you're in, educating you in some kind of way. But I want to make sure that I focus on the things that I know that our school and our parents may not have taught us growing up. I guess I put it that way. So that's where TC University comes in. Like I said, at some point, I realized that a lot of things that I was listening to, I heard growing up, a lot of those things did not hold true when I became an adult. And like I said, I know I'm not the only one. I know there's others out there who feel the same way. And like I said, definitely TC University is something that is not going to have your traditional, of course, math, science, and all those kind of topics, those kind of areas of education in there. But it's a membership group, of course, a membership community. And it's going to have online courses, online like workshops and different things, some similar to this, I guess I put it that way, to teach you all about the areas of life that, of course, we don't get taught when it comes to relationships, love, sex, all those kind of things, what a healthy relationship looks like. Those things that we don't get taught about, our own self-awareness, how to be who we want to be, how to, of course, have our self-love, how to be more aware of ourselves, and, of course, where we fit in our families and our household, and then in society. Of course, how to set those boundaries in our relationships, and, of course, with ourselves, how to, of course, say no to people and be okay with it. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about a whole lot of things in that particular community. I guess I'd say that. Like I said, it is a membership community, so there will be a cost to it. But like I said, I definitely want to make sure that you all knew what was going on and what was coming down the pipelines. So like I said, I'm greatly excited about it because, like I said, I've been talking about this for years and having some type of online platform where I can, of course, continue to educate and to, of course, talk about those things that people normally don't even tell you growing up and that you want to know, of course, as adults. And like I said, that's definitely coming down the pipeline. So TC University, like I said, you'll see more information about it coming soon. But in the meantime, on Instagram, you do have a link in the bio that leads directly to the TC University information page. And of course, on Facebook, I put that link in the description of the video. So like I said, definitely check it out, y'all, and go ahead and get on the list so that you can be notified as to what's coming down the pipeline and what is going on with TC University. Because I, of course, want you all to, of course, help me in creating this university as well so that I can make sure that it's tailored to your needs, what you're wanting, and what you want to learn in this lifetime. I guess I put it that way, or most of this lifetime. I guess I can say that because I can't say for the next 50, 60, 70 years what'll be going on because I'll be old and that kind of thing as well. But like I said, definitely what you wanted to learn in this time that you're in now, the issues that you're having, that kind of thing. Like I said, that's definitely something once you get connected with me through email that we can, of course, talk about and that I definitely want to know as well. So like I said, with that, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Again, TC University is coming down the pipeline. So like I said, y'all will definitely hear more information about that. Launch is coming in February, actually. So I definitely want to make sure that y'all are getting aware of what's going on, what's happening with this TC University. So like I said, take care, y'all. And like I said, Instagram, the link for the TC University information page is in my bio. And for Facebook, the link to TC University is actually, or the information page for TC University is actually in the description of this video. So like I said, definitely click on those links, y'all, and get it going and go ahead and get connected with me outside of this, outside of these arenas so that we can work on this platform together, y'all. So with that, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody have a great evening. Take care, y'all, and have a good one.